So, when I'm going through the synopsis of, well, everything in this video, some of them I just took directly from, like, the sites, the actual synopsis, but I modified some of them, and some of them I completely made from scratch, because some manhwa, synopsis could be kind of shit, like it just like quotes and stuff from the actual story. So I kept some of them, I modified some and made some completely from scratch. But obviously, like, there will be spoilers a bit, tiny bit, but not enough so you won't enjoy the story, obviously. I'm not stupid. So yeah, if you want any more of this, just hit me up in the comments or anything, and whether it's like about manhwa, anime, manga, webcomics, whatever, just hit me up and I'll try my best. Alright, enjoy the video. Number 10. Sword Fanatic Wanders Through the Night. The mystic lunar dance troupe took in Jin Soan as an orphan, and he spent his childhood with them. But one day, one of the 4 great demons, the Venom Demon, discovered that he was special and kidnapped him. After all kinds of tests, he decided to raise him as his disciple. 10 years later, Jin Soan tried to look for traces of the mystic lunar dance troupe, but the sword dance troupe had already been destroyed at the hands of the unorthodox faction that's now ruling over his hometown. So he's basically an OP poison user who incorporates his sword dancing into his deadly martial arts. Not many chapters are out as of making this video, so try it and see if you like it as much as I do. Number 9. Heavenly Martial God. Greatest martial artist tries to ascend to the heavens through gaining enlightenment whilst meditating and transcending human limits. The gods find him to be detestable, so they reject him and trap him in the weakest child 60 years into the future. He has not given up on his revenge on the gods, so he pushes through and overcomes his weak body. He doesn't take shit from anyone. Well, except once. I like it, and you probably will too. Number 8. Murim Manhwa. An era where hunters thrive on hunting monsters that comes from gates. Jin Tai-kyung is a low-rank hunter who picks up a VR machine and accidentally logs into the game, which is set in the world of martial arts. After many ups and downs, Tai-kyung is able to escape this world. The strength and skills which he received in the Murim were able to be carried over back into the real world. This allows him to continue making a living as a hunter. But he decides to return back to the world of Murim out of care for his NPC friends. So this is basically solo leveling, but every time he solo levels, he goes into this Murim game, so to speak. Very good. Recommend it. Number 7. Return of the Crazy Demon. Yi Saha, the crazy demon, crazy for martial arts. While he was running away after stealing the heavenly pearl of the demon cult leader, he fell off a cliff. After thinking that everything was over, he opened his eyes to say that he had returned back to when he was a waiter, and he's being beat up for something that he didn't do. The crazy demon who returned to the beginning of his days as a waiter, will he go crazy again, or will he drive his enemies crazy? I found this synopsis to be perfect. Not much to add really. A crazy guy gets reincarnated to when he was younger and gets crazier and more powerful than in his previous life. He's out for blood, killing, making people shit themselves, and more killing. I love it. Number 6. Wandering Warrior of Wudang, also known as Path of Shaman. If the Grim Reaper calls your name 3 times, you will be taken to the underworld. Hyokrian Mugang. Hyokrian Mugang. Hyokrian Mu. You bastard! I want to live longer. Get lost! After desperately eating the herb of immortality, I couldn't believe it, but I survived. When I realized this was real and opened my eyes, there were old geezers standing around me. Where am I? Mount Wudang? The Wudang sect? And what's even worse, I possess the body of an errand boy. This is nuts! I am the strongest, the absolute fucking strongest heavenly leader of the evil sect. Hyokrian Mugang. Now this synopsis was too good not to include. Although I have to add some of my own synopsis here as well. Evil sect leader gets reincarnated into Taoist errand boy and fuck shit up in the Orthodox sect. Which is, that sums it up pretty good. A very good read. Number 5. Legend of Ashura, the Venom Dragon. Jin Jagang is the sole survivor of his medicinal sect and gets captured, tortured and used in various poison experiments by the perpetrators, which are a poison sect. He gains the ability to use poisons in his martial arts to a degree which is unprecedented in Murim. He kills pretty much everyone in his way in order to achieve his revenge through any means possible. If you're interested in reading it, I would honestly recommend you read chapter 0, even though you usually shouldn't, because this shows what a menace our boy Jin truly becomes in the future. Kind of spoilery, but not really. It gets your blood pumping. Highly recommended. Number 4. Volcanic Age. Yosea Shean, a man who survives the age of war against the evil faction known as Dark Heaven through sheer luck and becomes Hwasan faction's elder only to live a life full of regrets and doubts. He then lies on his deathbed waiting for the inevitable when he's returned to the past. He then eats all the mythical creatures and elixirs which the Dark Heaven is meant to find, which greatly enhances his inner force. This combined with his great martial knowledge creates a beast that becomes known throughout Murim as the Sword God at the age of 20. This is obviously really cool, but what gets me is that he has another identity in the unorthodox faction, which is also known as one of the strongest people in the world. That's crazy. I don't know, man. I like it. I highly recommend it. Number 3. Doctor's Rebirth. A doctor gets talked into going as a medic to a civil war, but dies trying to protect a child from a terrorist. He wakes up in a Murim novel he actively read as a child in the wilderness. He uses his medical knowledge to save some people who were about to die, when the godly doctor, one of the top dogs of Murim, finds out about his incredible skills for seemingly being such a young child. He's taken aback and makes our MC Jin Cheon-hee his direct disciple and teaches him the secret martial arts of the powerful Yaegel clan, of which he is the last left alive. This is very different from most other Murim stories in a good way. When I read this, I did so in one sitting, which at the time was around 60-ish chapters. You're doing yourself a massive disservice by not reading this one. Number 2. Return of the Mount Hua sect. Shung Myung, the 13th disciple of the Mount Hua sect, one of the 3 great swordsmen, Plum Blossom Sword Saint, defeated Chun Ma, who has brought destruction and disarray onto the world. After the battle, he breathes his last breath on top of the headquarter mountain of the Heavenly Demon sect. He is reborn after 100 years in the body of a child and comes to learn that his great sect has fallen and lost its martial arts. So he then starts to cultivate and learn the top martial arts at an incredibly young age and absolutely dominates his peers and enemy sects through this showcase of the Mount Hua's lost martial arts, which even the elders look at in complete awe. He then trains juniors and seniors alike in order to make the sect regain its former glory. I honestly don't even have anything to say about this one. I can guarantee that you'll like it, so just start reading when you have a lot of free time because you're not going to be able to stop. Number 1. Legend of the Northern Blade. The story follows our main character Yin Mu-won and his struggles as the only survivor of the Northern sect, which was wiped out when Mu-won's dad, the 4th generation sect leader, was betrayed by his warriors and the Central Heavenly Alliance. After this, Mu-won was kept on watch 24/7 and was made sure not to have access to any martial scrolls. The watchkeepers noted that Mu-won always climbed on a roof overlooking the entire sect every day and just stayed there. They obviously didn't think much of this, but it then gets revealed that the sect itself is a martial scroll containing the most powerful martial art in the world, passed down from father to son in the Northern Heavenly sect. The sect later gets attacked, but Mu-won escapes and burns it down since he's already memorized the scroll. After a time skip where he actually masters the martial art physically as well, he wanders the Murim while stomping on everyone in his way, aiming for the lives of the people who set up his dad, gathering subordinates and reviving the Northern Heavenly sect as its rightful 5th generation leader. It's my number 1 for a reason. I would actually go as far as to say that this is not only my favorite Murim Manhwa, but actually manhwa in general. It's badass, but at the same time emotional through stuff that happens to certain characters that not only is surprising, but also shapes Muon in understanding the true meaning and responsibilities that being a leader truly entails. I mean, it's my name in the game, for Christ's sake. I would also like to bring up some honorable mentions. Out of the ones I have read, I would like to mention Heavenly Sword's Grand Saga, Reaper of the Drifting Moon, Chronicles of the Martial God's Return, and Chronicles of a Heavenly Demon. I'm caught up to all of those except for Chronicles of a Heavenly Demon, which I have read 120-ish chapters of, but that's also the series I enjoy most out of these. But I don't want to make any preemptive assumptions about it since I'm not caught up, so that's why I have not put it on the list yet. I would also like to mention Lightning Degree and Nanomachine, which I have not read but only heard good things about. Nanomachine is actually my next read, so maybe if I make an update of this in the not too far future, it might be on the list. Who knows? Yeah, that's it for me this video. If you want something else like this, manhwa, manga, anime, webcomic related, don't hesitate to put it in the comments. Peace.